Most radiologists, most physicians in general, went into medicine with the anticipation of treating patients. I don't believe the radiologists have ever come at it from the perspective of trying to go into practice, build a business, looking to sell. So one of the things that can be scary in that process is they're going to do it once in their life. So that decision, it's going to be a tough decision. And all of the criteria that they need to consider, that's going to be a hard decision. We can help guide them through all those decision points. We know all the milestones that they should be achieving along the way. But once they work with us, the process should be easy.
So at Paratus, one of our catchphrases is deciding to sell your practice is difficult, but actually selling it shouldn't be. And so we've really developed a 3-point plan that helps any practice that wants to begin to evaluate the process and effectively establish whether or not they feel that there's good value in the market for them today. The first thing I would tell everybody is that the process itself takes far more time than you would ever assume or plan for accordingly. The amount of time that's associated with due diligence, the compilation of all of the financial records, of the physicians' biographies, of the billing information. There's a whole slew of data that has to be compiled in conjunction with the transaction. And unfortunately, most practice executives or most physician leaders still have their day-to-day job. And so I think for any practice that's considering it, you have to just understand and assume that it is going to take twice as long and be twice as difficult than you might otherwise anticipate.
You have to manage expectation. And if there's anything we can bring to that, it's our experience. We've been in their shoes. We've been a seller. So we recognize all of the emotions that they're going to go through.
And so because of our extensive experience in the market, we've been able to basically hone it down into 3 sort of distinct buckets, if you will. So the first is really get poised to sell your practice for its maximum value, sell high. And so what we typically will do is we can come in, we can talk to a practice. We'll take a very extensive deep dive into their billings data. We'll look at their staffing, look at their model, their productivity per physician, the comp. We'll look to see if they're consistent with other practices in the market. And based on the results of that initial analysis, we can usually identify opportunities for the practice to basically shed some expense and increase their overall value. So once a practice has decided that they want to sell and they've engaged Paratus as their advisor, what we typically do is we will put together a confidential information memorandum, which is all of the details behind the client, which then goes out to the prospective buyers. We at Paratus run that whole process. So we're responsible for the initial contact, bringing the buyers to the table, soliciting the initial letters of intent, helping the client choose which consolidator or partner they feel is best for them, and then effectively managing the entire due diligence, document preparation, and consummation of the deal to its fullest extent. Where we also feel that we bring value to the table is helping the group manage its relationships post-transaction. A lot of people refer to it as the aftermath. And so we at Paratus feel that what's important for us is that we really establish good relationships, lifelong relationships with each of our clients, and that we are always available to them to help answer questions or help them with their decision making once they've gotten through that transactional process as really just sort of an added value to the overall relationship.